Hi, I'm Keira from Engaging Networks. If we haven't met already, hello. We normally do this in about an hour to 45 minutes to an hour, so we're going to go like the clappers, hang on to your hats. We're going to look at benchmarking data, we're going to look at what things that hopefully you'll be able to measure yourselves with, see what's been working, see what hasn't been working, show you some good examples. And how dare I tell you all where you should be in the marketplace? And that's because I work for Engaging Networks, and if you don't know Engaging Networks, we are the digital toolkit of choice for about 350 not-for-profits around the world. They're digital campaigns, fundraising pages, email campaigns, that kind of thing. Which means we process a load of data. We have about 61 million individual data records of charities supporters. We send about 300 million emails per month. That's clients sending them through their supporters, which I didn't know how to say that number, but that's what it is. It's a lot. So I'm going to try and cover four main things: where your new supporters are coming from, generally, how many people are managing to convert activists into donors, a bit on mobile, and then a bit on engagement scoring. So, let's play number one. Right, where are your new supporters coming from? This is a graph which shows you the percentage of, by action type, the percentage of those supporters that are new. So if you look at recurring donors, you're seeing about 4% of all of your recurring donors, that's the first action they take with you. So with petitions, that's quite high, as you'd expect. You've got nearly 40% of the people taking petitions, this is across all of Engaging Networks data, are completely new to your organisation. Interestingly, email advocacy is taking a big dip, so people are turning away from that as their initial action with a charity, so that's kind of quite interesting to see. Yeah, it's a bit of a dip there. We don't quite know what's going on, but that you might have some insights on why that's maybe turning people off within your organisation. So converting activists to donors, this is something that we are seeing an upward trend of, which is great. Number of activists that are also giving gifts. This is what this statistic is. So 2015, 16, and 17. So last year, across all of Engaging Networks petitions, this is, nearly 5% of activists were also going on to make a gift in that year. So yeah, cross-pollination is happening, albeit slowly. Now, if you look at email to targets, that's a bigger ask, and you're actually seeing also a higher conversion to donation as well. Now, if we go back to that conversion from petition to donation, let's break down those numbers a little bit and put them into like a real-world scenario. So your average high, so 4.8 is your average number of people signing petitions that also make a gift. If you take the top 10 that are converting really well, and we've got some that are 20, 21, 22%, this is your average high, 13%-ish. Average low is only a sad 0.6%, so there's money being left on the table there. Okay, what does this mean? Let's put this into a real-world scenario. Take a real charity, and I looked at some numbers and applied these conversion rates. If this charity in this particular campaign were converting 0.6% of their campaigners into donors, they'd raise just over $2,000. Okay, so if they improved that conversion rate and were converting the average of the higher-end campaigners into donors, they'd be raising £54,000, so quite a big difference. But like I said, we have some campaigning organisations that are converting 22% of their activists into donors. So that would turn what was $2,000 into £88,000. That's the average gift. That's going an average gift of £42, which is the average in the UK single gift amount. Right, now let's just put this on acid briefly. What if we were to talk about an average campaign size, which is about 33,000 campaign petitions over a year? And if they were converting 22% of those activists into donors over a year, that would raise a quite staggering £318,000. But what would a large campaign? So this is the kind of 250,000 petition signers, something like that, over a year. If they were converting at the rate of 2.2, they'd make over 2.1 million. So that's quite a lot of money. Okay, let's dip into mobile. Just a couple of slides on mobile. Okay, this is number of people that are taking actions and what by action type on a mobile. Email advocacy has not got any easier to do on a phone in the last since 2016, 2017, we're seeing the same number of people taking actions on mobile. So that's still a fairly difficult action to do. But petitions are just getting easier and people are converting much higher on mobiles. Gifts. Really interesting. They're still skyrocketing. In fact, recurring gifts, 27.1% of people making a recurring gift are doing it on a mobile, and that's exceeded single gifts. So people are willing to go the extra mile if you're asking them right. So that says a lot about how well you're presenting those pages, I think. Right. Finally, email engagement scoring. This is a metric that we've put together for our clients to be able to look at their data on their email sends and apply some real-time useful numbers to it and see how well engaged their supporters are. There's a lot more behind these numbers, how we break down this engagement scoring, so I'll just roughly tell you. Last 3 months there, we're talking about people that have taken an action or they've clicked through an email. Then it's over 3 to 6 months. Email opened over a year, and then what we call category level 11 is inactive. They've done nothing, they've not opened an email, or they've not signed a petition in a year. So they're pretty inactive. The two numbers I think are interesting here are the top one, most engaged, is going up. This is good, so we're getting more supporters engaged at the highest level, doing stuff regularly with you, and not just opening emails but clicking and taking actions. And then the bottom one there, the inactive, that's going down. So I don't know, GDPR's working possibly. But either way, those are the two main numbers that I think are worth looking at. Causation obviously does, correlation doesn't mean causation, but I just had a look at something to see if it was worth mentioning. And that is, the top 20 organizations with the highest engagement scores, most engaged email list, are also using marketing automations, but half of them are, whereas only a quarter of them on the lower end. And then just some stuff that you probably already know. Organizations with a higher engagement score, yes, they're sending more email, lots more interesting, more frequently, and the ones at the bottom end, significantly fewer emails. And that was my last slide. Excellent.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Incredible. Well done.